and welcome back. So it is currently September, so I thought summer is technically not over. It's only like September 12th or something. But I wanted to go ahead and do kind of my summer reading review vlog. I don't know, whatever I'm gonna eventually call it. Because so before summer, this past summer, and from like, I want to say March to mid-June, I would pick up a book, read like less than the first 100 pages, and put it down. I did that for at least 4 books, and I don't know, sometimes I just do that. Actually, I did read one entire book in the span of those months, which was Romancing Mr. Bridgerton. Because I read that in a day because it was like I was waiting for part 2 of Bridgerton season 3 to come out, and I needed more Bridgerton, so I read the entire book in a day and was disappointed. But so yeah, I'm gonna kind of go over what I read this summer because I finally got back into reading like mid-June. It was a slow start with the first book I'm gonna talk about, which is 1984 by George Orwell. My copy is literally falling apart. I'm having to tape it together because I got this for free at a cafe. So that was fun. It was a really cool cafe. If you're ever in like Brookhaven, Mississippi, I think it was the Sunflower Oven. Go check it out because one, there's some free books and they had really good, I think it was quiche. I think that's what I got. It was really good. But yeah, so this was part of my summer reading for my English class. So I'm gonna go ahead and you don't see the computer and the script I'm holding up. We're just gonna pretend you didn't. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with my summer reading because, I don't know, I thought I would include it in here because why not? So the first book of my summer reading I read was 1984 by George Orwell. And I rated it a 3. Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that. My family came home and I had to do some stuff. But anyway, I'm back. So, 1984. Yeah, I can't remember exactly where I left off, but so, yeah, the covers basically falling apart. I did say that. Okay, I left off. My rating was a 3.5. And crap, my camera is about to die. Let's see how long I can do this. Okay, so I loved the prose in it. I don't know, I don't read sci-fi a lot, and if you ask me, I will say I don't like sci-fi. In reality, I do. One of my favorite books is sci-fi. Ender's Game, I love it so much. I'm thinking about rereading it actually. But anyway, also, I didn't annotate this book, but I did like highlight a lot of things. There's just some random quotes I liked. So I really liked the prose, and I liked when it would, I don't know, like hint at like problems without like flat out saying them. I don't know. I just liked the way it handled what it was trying to handle. Yeah, and it was also like this felt real. And actually, the big thing with this book is so it was written 1948. It's the opposite of 1948. 84. Yeah, sorry, my brain died. But anyway, and people were terrified because they thought this book was coming true. Newsflash, it didn't. It's 2024. It didn't come true. But everyone was really scared it would. And when reading this, I'm like, I feel like if I was living in that time, I feel like it would have was about to come true too. The things I didn't like, the romance plot in this. Okay, my camera's plugged in, and I'm just gonna have to sit on the floor. Also, there's my doggo. Say hi, Daisy. Hi, Daisy. Sweet baby. because I'm going to film this, and whoever's out there trying to intervene and make sure I don't film this, no, you're not gonna stop. Okay, the romance plot in this. I could tell this was written in like the 1940s by a man. Like, okay, some points I was like, yes, okay, maybe y'all are cute now. Just maybe. And then I remembered like the first things he said when he was thinking about her. I don't want to spoil anything. Okay, it just died on me again. But like I said, I'm not gonna let the universe stop me. But anyway, the romance plot in this, I hated it. Hated it so much. Luckily it was only a side plot. And it had some significance in it. But still, I hated it. Another thing, there was just one too many plot twists. I don't know. It was just, like, the first one was like, oh my god, that's crazy. Like, I did not see that coming. And then the second one rolled around, and I'm like, and then like the third, and I don't know, the ending, I just didn't like the ending. It felt kind of rushed, it felt kind of sudden, I don't know. And those two things just, I don't know, didn't sit right with me. Okay, the next one I read was The Bluest. This is by Toni Morrison. And see, I rated this 4 stars. I really like this book. So wait, I didn't even talk about 1984, but 1984 is like a dystopian world where there's like 3 main powers, and their main character Winston is kind of rebelling against his kind of controlling party, where like you can't even like think for yourself. Yeah, so The Bluest Eye is about this like young black girl in like the South who is kind of like ugly and wants blue eyes because then she'll be pretty like all the white girls. Yeah, so the prose and the way she writes this is beautiful. I loved the prose in this. Okay, I'm sorry, I don't like sitting on my knees. Okay, but the way she writes this is beautiful. I love it. Some of like just her words, or I don't know, it felt really real. Like, as a person from the South, I don't know, I related to some of like the Southern kind of things. Yeah, and it's really realistic, and I feel like she's not afraid to tell it how it is. Like, it is sad and kind of gruesome, and just some of the like the relationships between these characters makes me kind of question humanity a little bit, but it's real, and that's like what I wanted from it. Like, I didn't want to go in to be told a lie. She told it how it is, and I respect her for it. The only kind of grudge I have against it is the like what they tell, like the summary on the back doesn't happen until the very end, and that's really annoying to me. I hate it when books do that, where like the main point, like plot in the book isn't until like the last act. And I don't know, the plot was kind of all over the place for like the first half of the book. I couldn't tell what direction it was going into. I was having fun while reading it because it was really pretty, but I just couldn't tell what direction it was going into. And yeah, and near the end I started like, okay, all I can see all this is adding up. Cool, whatever, but just for so long, I was like, what's happening? Okay, so that's The Bluest Eye, 4 stars. Next up is Metamorphosis. This is by Franz Kafka. I think that's how you pronounce his name. I rated this, again, a 4 star. So the plot of this is this main character, what is his name? Gregor. Okay, so Gregor wakes up one day and he's like a beetle. And his family kind of like hides him. They're terrified of him. Like, well, yeah, like if you turned into a freaking beetle one day. But anyway, but the real like actual kind of theme whatever this book or what the Beatles supposed to like symbolize. I think possibly communism. I don't really know. I think someone told me that. I think. But I think it was mostly like conformity, really. That's mostly what it's about. But basically he's shunned by his family, hidden away, but throughout this book, this man's like, he's continuously is like, I just want to help my family. Like when he wakes up as a bug, his first thought is to go to work and make money for his family. Like, that is just so, like, I respect, and like, I don't know, that, I just love, like, his unwavering love for his family, even when, like, they basically hate him. But yeah, and like, him, like, his, like, the way, like, he loved his sister, not like that, but like, I don't know, just some of the things, like how he was so sweet and so nice. It made me sad. The only thing I didn't really like, it was weird. I mean, like, the man turns into a bug. It's weird. But I don't know. It just also didn't hit the spot as much. I don't know. It's like, I don't know. It just didn't hit that, like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Like, I can't shut up about this book spot. And for that, I'm only giving it 4 stars. Because I feel like it could, I don't know. There could have been something else. A little more. And it was also only like 50 pages. Just the rest of those pages are like essays and, explanations of it. So it was like it was a really short book. Okay, so that's all for my summer reading. Now moving into like what I chose to read. Let me get my Kindle real quick. Okay, so some of these are like on my Kindle, and some of them aren't. So the first book I want to talk about is The Perks of Being a Wallflower. I watched the movie in like June. I can't remember, and I loved the movie. I cried. I was sobbing from that movie. And so I read the book on my Kindle, though I did wish I got a physical copy, and I wish I annotated it. I may eventually one day, because I was also crying in that book. I rated it 5 stars. It was a really good book. Read Perks of Being a Wallflower. It's these kind of like letters. This boy Charlie is writing to this anonymous person about his life as like a freshman in high school. And he's going through all these things. He meets these 2 seniors, you know, falls in love with one of them. And he's just this really kind of like messed up, shy, sweet kid. So the things I really liked about this is all the characters felt really real. Like I feel like I would meet a Patrick, I would meet a Brad, I would meet, what was her name? Well, I'd meet a Charlie, and I would meet a Sam. Like, all those people I feel like I would meet in high school. Like, I know those kids in high school. Like, they all felt real to me. I am a sucker for a coming of age story. You give me a coming of age story, I will love you. I love coming of age is one of my favorite things to write about. I think most of my stories actually fall under coming of age. That kind of like genre. I mean, it's not really hard to fall under the coming of age genre, I feel like. But anyway, and this was definitely like a coming of age book. And my dog's kind of like attacking my cat room. Okay, and this book was just a really good example of that. I loved it for that. I loved the format because it was written in letters. Yeah, it was written in letters. I don't know, I felt like I was getting to know Charlie more through that. Also, I really relate to Charlie. I don't know, just some of the things Charlie thinks about is like some of the things I think about, and I thought I was like the only one. I mean, Charlie's a fake character, but like the writer actually probably thinks about it. So like, I thought I was the only like weird kid who just contemplates like life in the middle of lunch. Or thinks about how like everyone's gonna die. Well, a lot of people think about it. But like, you know, it's just like those really deep like topics. And I don't know, he's so innocent, but at the same time he realizes everything. And that's just not the innocent part. Charlie. I really related to Charlie. which is really rare. I usually don't relate to a main character. And then it covered really deep topics when it didn't feel like it did. Like, I would read, like, these deep topics, and I'm like, I don't know, like, I didn't really, like, I would cry at them, of course, but it just didn't feel like they were really that emotional. Or not that emotional, but that, I don't know, it was like subtext, almost. Like, subtext for a while. Okay. The only thing I didn't like is sometimes, well, in the book, Charlie just feels really kind of childish sometimes. I don't know. He feels a lot more like a 9th grader, and I don't know, and he is one, but I don't know if I really like that. I don't know. And then his relationship with, like, Sam, just, I don't know, it was a little weird because technically she is a senior, and with him acting more childish and feeling more childish, it just didn't go over as well. And I feel like Patrick just didn't have the same vibe in the movie. And, like, I know, like, I'm not really supposed to compare the book to the movie because the movie's supposed to be, like, worse, but I don't know. Like, Patrick in the movie is an icon. I love Patrick in the movie. Patrick in the book, I don't know, I just feel like we don't get enough of him, and, like, when we do, he's either, like, too dramatic or just not dramatic at all. So, the next book I also read on my Kindle, this is a romance book, Love on the Brain by Hazlewood. I rated it a 4.5 out of 5 stars. I really liked it. It was really cute. It was a fun, nice, simple book to read after reading, like, a heartbreaking book of, like, Perks of Being a Wallflower. And I am a romance girly. I like romance. You cannot, like, I will admit it. I like a good romance story. It's just, I love it. Like, I eat it up. And this was a really cute one. The banter between the two main characters, I ate that. I loved it. It was so real, so cute. Even just, like, the relationship between them, I could tell they were in love. And for a lot of romance books nowadays, I just don't get that vibe. I don't. And so that was really nice, being able to see that. Also, I love the male love interest. He was so cute. Like, I don't know. Like I love a good dark male love interest. Like, I'll read dark romance, I will. But it just doesn't hit the same because I'm like, I'm never gonna find that man. Like, sure, I can read about him and, like, sure, he's cute, but, like, I'm never actually gonna find that man. I could find this man in real life. I could. He was, I don't know, it's been a while since I read it. Like a month, and I don't know, I've read a lot of other, like, a couple other things, so it's all kind of blending together. But he was, like, kind of a playboy, like, kind of golden retriever. I will eat okay, cut the first part about me eating anything. I love golden retriever boys. You give me a golden retriever boy, I'm obsessed with them. I love them. And he kind of gave golden retriever vibes, just a little bit. And so, of course, I love him. And then the only reason I rated it a 4.5 stars is because it was just, like, an overall fun read. I mean, it served its purpose, but, like, I don't know, when I read, like, sometimes I like to just have fun while reading, and other times I do like my thought to be challenged. So that's why I just wrote it a 4.5, because I don't know, the perfect book is, like, for me, is, like, a fun read while also challenging some thought. And it just didn't challenge any thought. It was just really boring for me. Or not boring, but it's just really, like, a book for me to read before I go to bed and, like, giggle at it and whatnot. So yeah. The next book I read was also by Hazlewood, which was Love Theoretically. This one I only rated 3 stars. It just didn't hit as good as the first one. Maybe that's because I feel like I don't feel like I know it. The book had the exact same plot format. Like, it wasn't the same plot, but it was the same kind of, like, arc system. Like, I don't know. Like, they both, like, had, like, I don't know, got close together in, like, the early parts of the book, and like, the female love interest just couldn't stop thinking about it in this entire book. And, I don't know, and the male love interest just didn't hit as hard. He just wasn't as good. Wasn't as, like, fun. yeah, and I just didn't get connected to the characters as much. I did feel called out by the main female character, and I don't know, I feel called out, but at the same time, like, her problems were unrealistic. But at the same time, I relate to them. So I don't know what that tells you. Maybe it's just I don't want to relate to them. But I don't know. I just didn't like the characters as much. They didn't hit as hard. I didn't like them. They just didn't feel as good. Okay. This freaking book. So I actually read this one on my Kindle. And then I had to buy an entire, like, hardback copy. Because I'm like, I'm going to reread this. And then it was also a series, and I bought the second book, and I was like, I can't have the second book without having the first book on, like, a physical copy, so I had to buy it. So this is Powerless by Lauren Roberts. I rate it 5 stars because it deserves all 5 stars. I picked this book up, like, oh, this is gonna be a fun, simple, easy read, you know? It's just gonna be a little, like, hee-hee, money, and then I picked it up and realized it was fantasy. I don't really like fantasy. Sorry, I just don't. And I saw it was a fantasy, and I was like, oh well, I'll still try and read it. This book, oh my god, I loved everything about it. I will do anything for Kai. I love Kai. Kai is my man. Actually, no, he's Pei's man, but, like, both the main characters, oh my god, I love them so much. I love their banter, oh my god. There was not a second in this, like, book in between their interactions where I was like, oh, that's unrealistic, or I was cringing or anything. It was so cute, so cute, so cute. The plot was intriguing. It did feel a lot like Hunger Games in this book, especially. It did feel like Hunger Games, but I still loved it. I feel like it was a little bit more, like, it gave us a little bit more than Hunger Games, and it was like gruesome like Hunger Games, but wasn't as gruesome, and, like, I don't know. It was really good. I loved it. The lore, the angst, oh my god. I was, like, screaming because it is a trilogy. The third book has not come out. There is, like, spin-off that I haven't read yet, and I didn't actually know that when I picked up this book. I thought it was gonna be 1. And so when I'm, like, 3/4 of the way through and they hadn't even kissed yet, I was dying. I was screaming. I was angry. And I respect the author for it. And again, I can tell these characters are in love. I can tell it. It's so, I don't know. They just feel real and authentic. And oh my god, the angst. Oh, this book had me in shambles. The only thing I didn't like, and this is just me being petty, it does leave me on a cliffhanger. And I was in shambles, I was screaming, oh my god, this book left me in a wreck. Like, so much in a wreck that I did not pick up the second book for, like, another week or 2 because I was like, I know this one's gonna leave me in a wreck too. I cannot. Like, for my mental health, I need to wait to read this book. And then I did, and of course I was left in a wreck. So this is Reckless. This is the second. This is the first book I have annotated, if I can even, like, from, like, front to back. Because every book I've tried to annotate, like, I don't know, I just go too slow. But this one I didn't manage to annotate from front to back. And again, this book left me in shambles, but, so this one, I also wrote 5 stars. It had everything from the first. And also, okay, this is just a me thing, but, like, I think it's like second chance romance where the characters get a second try. I don't know, most of the time I'm like, girl, you didn't even spend any time, like, getting over, I don't know, like, it just jumps. I don't know, I don't feel like there's any good transition. This book had the perfect transition, like, transition from them being in love to them kind of hating each other and getting over that and then being in love again. Well, they never stopped being in love, but I don't know, like, I picked up on, like, the small transitions. It was just beautifully written with, like, through the plot and everything. This author is great at plot. She's also, her prose is really nice. I really like her prose. yeah, they don't just randomly overcome it. They're not like all of a sudden they go from hating each other to being in love. No, they actually work through it together, little bit by little bit. The only thing is it wasn't as fast paced as the first one, and I don't know, and it was mostly Kai and Pei just together the entire time. And I mean, like, I'm all for it, like, cute, whatever, but I don't know, the vibe was kind of different from the first one. Still loved it, still whatever, but I don't know, it's just a little slower pace. And then also, I knew it was gonna leave me in shambles, and also, I don't know, I had a hard time wanting to finish this because I'm like, they're so cute right now, I just don't want to ruin it, and that's just me being petty. Like, it's not actually, like, the author's fault or anything. Oh, Daisy. Daisy, come here. But anyway, so yeah, and then also, I don't know, so, I'm not gonna give away too much, but, like, the main character and her best friend, I don't know, I didn't feel like they were really best friends. Just didn't. But yeah, so that was all the books I read over the summer. I think I will also do one for the fall. I've already, like, read a couple books so far, and yeah, I'm excited to talk about them. I love talking about books. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and listening to me ramble. Like, thank you, that's so sweet of you. I hope I encourage you to read some of these books, and just to read in general. I love reading. I think you should read. I think everyone should read. That's just a me thing maybe. I don't know. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope to see y'all next time. Bye!